anger is actually your ally. Anger is there for a reason. You evolved it for a reason, right? Pain is the greatest gift a woman can give you. Everybody tells you that comfort is cringe and things like that. But think why? Because comfort makes you forget pain. In my previous videos, we have established that motivation and progress are a little bit fluctuating. Sometimes you're more motivated in certain days, then there are periods of lower motivation. And if you have followed my advice from the previous videos and written down the things and thought through the things that are present in your life while your motivation is high, you might have noticed a certain key thing. That is, that in one way or another, you were motivated by pain, by disgust of your weakness, disgust of the failures that you have, or the disgust at lack of progress that you've been making. In my previous video, I've mentioned when I showed the list of things that were going well in my life when I had good motivation. I've mentioned that I didn't go to the gym for 2 or 3 days, from what I remember, and that motivated me forward. I was a little bit pissed off that I didn't have time for the gym. That was one thing. It was a form of pain. Another thing that I did was semen retention. It's very irritating to go through semen retention and abstain yourself from doing these things. You know what I'm talking about, be it masturbation or sex. It's very frustrating and in a way painful for you to force your body to basically keep that in, right? When I was in the military, I used to be very prideful. So one of the examples from my personal life, I was very motivated by pain, was when I lost an arm wrestle contest to some random guy. You see, I was very popular in my company among my peers, right? So when this random guy, who I didn't even remember his name, beat me in my arm wrestle, I felt very hurt. My pride was hurt. I basically couldn't accept it. For the next period of time, every single day I would grab this orange rubber band and I would practice my arm wrestling, right? I would tie it to like a metal bed or something like that and then pull it to practice my arm wrestling, so I never lose to someone like him again. I'm not very proud of myself then for my pride, right? But you can see how this pain motivated me forward to practice and train relentlessly. The other thing was when I failed a math exam for the second time in a row. I just simply couldn't accept it. I was so infuriated. I felt that it was unfair, especially since I felt like I knew the things. I knew how to do these exercises. In fact, I was starting my tutoring business. I would teach the same exercises correctly to my students. So how could it be that I myself couldn't solve them on a test? Maybe it was stress, maybe it was something else. Maybe I was just put in a simply different mental space when I was sat in class and forced to silently work on these things. But still, it was very infuriating. And when it came to the last time I had the chance to correct myself on these exams, I sat down and practiced mathematics for entire days. I would finish my classes, or was it classes? No, it was exam period. I didn't have classes. First thing I could do when I was allowed to leave the military area was I would go to a gallery, so I'm not distracted by anything that goes on in the military area, and to some like nice secluded area where people would just like write books, work on some things on their computers and things like that. And I would just sit there for an entire day, multiple times in a row, and practice my mathematics, completely infuriated by my failures before. So what you can notice from my stories and maybe from your own observations, if you're introspective enough, is that anger is actually your ally. Anger is there for a reason. You evolve it for a reason, right? It really is an infinite source of motivation and allows you to push yourself to do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do if you felt comfortable, right? Like if you were satisfied and if you were just feeling pretty chill, you wouldn't find the motivation to study for an entire day or be consistent enough to practice arm wrestling every single day for a long period of time. And you know what's the worst part? Society wants you to suppress your anger. Maybe it's good for the public order, but it doesn't teach you how to use it. But there is no common mechanism that is known in society to manage anger, is there? Like you might think of motivation, but that's still pretty niche. But what does teach you to manage anger and how to use it, how to use your pain, are stories. You see, power comes from a projection of force against things you oppose, things you're angry about and you disagree with. I mean, look at the media, look at every protagonist in a good story, every single protagonist in a good story have to go through pain to be great. No pain, no greatness. Think of Batman. The reason why he's a superhero is because his parents were killed. Think of Luke Skywalker. What did he have to go through before he defeated the Empire? You've probably seen Star Wars, right? His arm got cut off and he had to endure training. That is pain. Or think of historical examples. Think of Baldwin the Leper King. He won his first battle at 16 years of age. Yet he was pained by leprosy, which is like a lethal skin disease. Yet he was still known as a great ruler. Or Beethoven, his deafness infuriated him. And so he put that anger, he turned it into motivation to write one of the best musical pieces in the world that are still renowned to this day. So to cultivate that anger, if you're sick of just being comfortable in your everyday life and you know you want to achieve great things, but you do not have the right emotions necessary for it right at the moment, because emotions are very present. The emotions do not plan ahead, and anger is an emotion. You can induce anger by reminding yourself of your past failures. You can think, my progress wasn't that great recently. I could have been doing so much. Doesn't that infuriate you? Think about it. There are many things you can be mad about, right? Just sit down in the morning, think about it, really focus on those emotions and motivate yourself through those throughout the day. Think about it. Your grandparents could have had children at the age of 25 or something like that. Is this even viable in the current economy? Remind yourself of this as an example. They've taken away your ability to have children at a young age because of the economic instability. You must overcome that. You must, for the good of your future family. That's one example of how to use your memory, use your imagination to turn pain into anger, into motivation. So now you have to economically succeed. And the thing that you have to watch out for is comfort. This is a basic common thing on self-improvement. Everybody tells you that comfort is cringe and things like that. But think why? Because comfort makes you forget pain. Comfort eases your anger and therefore ruins your motivation. The reason why you lose those sophisticated streaks of doing well in life and doing huge progress is because you allow a little bits of comfort to slip into your life. 5 minutes of Instagram every day, and then 6, then 10. Now you're watching Instagram Reels every day, or YouTube, whatever it might be, TikTok, whatever. And from 5 minutes, it turns into longer amount of time. And eventually you're not focused on your pain. You're not relieving that because you're comforted by social media. And so you're not motivated to do the work. The way this works is because social media generates like pleasant hormones in you, right? And good hormones of satisfaction and pleasure, just basically are mechanisms to tell your body and your organism, yeah, we're in a good spot. We don't need to change anything, right? You're happy, you don't need to change anything. You're good in the place you are. But negative hormones, negative emotions, because emotions come from hormones, right? Or the other way around, tell you this is a bad situation, we need to change this situation. For example, anger. Anger forces you to act because the situation you're currently in is terrible. You do not accept it. So anger gives you the energy to change your situation. Improvement is change. So you want to have that capacity to change through anger. This brings me to another point, which is bravery and seeking pain. If you're brave, you do not care about the negative consequences of what you're about to do because you believe this is just. Then either if you understand that pain is good for you because it motivates you forward and is the only way to grow, then bravery makes logical sense. Because even if you decide to do something brave, if you decide to ignore your fear, for example, approach a girl or sign up for martial arts, either thing that happens, either if you succeed or fail, either outcome is great for you. Because you either get pain, which motivates you forwards and it causes you to succeed, or you succeed from the get-go. So you get that girl, or you're just good at martial arts, maybe you're just talented. So either way is good. Bravery makes logical sense. Recently, my girlfriend put me through a lot of pain because she didn't appreciate what I was doing for her. Well, it was her female hormones. She was just simply on her period, right? She really deeply apologized for what she said to me. But normally, you would hear advice of just simply don't tolerate disrespect from women. But I would like to oppose that. The disrespect she gives is pain. It's a gift. When you're feeling disrespected by your woman, then that tells you that you're not in the right place in your life. if you get disrespected, that means you do not deserve respect. I need to work more on it. So you get angry, you get hurt first, then you get angry, and then you act because you do not accept such behavior, right? Pain is the greatest gift a woman can give you. This has been Cost Static. Subscribe to me for more knowledge and advice. You can write down in the comments what else you would like me to cover, or if you have any questions, just let me know.